N400 vocabulary, top 60 most commonly asked word definitions in recent interviews. Clear and simple, easy to memorize. Claim. Can you explain what claim means? To say something is true. To say something is true. Overdue. What is overdue? Past a deadline. Past a deadline. Bear arms. Can you explain what bear arms means? To own or use a gun. To own or use a gun. Weapon. What is a weapon? Like a knife or gun. Like a knife or gun. Vote. Can you explain what vote means? To elect new leaders. To elect new leaders. Torture. Can you explain what torture means? To hurt someone physically. To hurt someone physically. Smuggle. What does smuggle mean? To take things to a country illegally. To take things to a country illegally. Gamble. Can you explain what gamble means? To play a game for money. To play a game for money. Crime. What does crime mean? An action that breaks the law. An action that breaks the law. Public benefit. What is a public benefit? Welfare, like food stamps. Welfare, like food stamps. Civilian. What does civilian mean? A person who is not in the military. A person who is not in the military. Claim to be a U.S. citizen. What does claim to be a U.S. citizen mean? To state that you are a U.S. citizen. To state that you are a U.S. citizen. Owe taxes. Can you define owe taxes? To owe the government money. To owe the government money. Cited. Can you explain what cited means? Given a ticket by police. Given a ticket by police. Register. Can you define register? To sign up. To sign up. Military unit. What is a military unit? A group that works for government. A group that works for government. Owe. Can you explain what owe means? To have a debt. To have a debt. File a tax return. Can you explain what file a tax return means? To send tax paperwork to the government. To send tax paperwork to the government. Form of government of the United States. What is the form of government of the United States? Republic. Republic. Genocide. Can you define genocide? To kill a whole race. To kill a whole race. Offense. Can you define offense? A minor crime. A minor crime. Illegal drugs or narcotics. Can you explain what illegal drugs or narcotics mean? Like heroin or cocaine. Like heroin or cocaine. Immigration benefit. Can you explain what immigration benefit means? Things like a visa, green card, or citizenship. Things like a visa, green card, or citizenship. Non-resident alien. What is a non-resident alien? A person who has not passed the green card test. A person who has not passed the green card test. Overthrow. What does overthrow mean? To remove a government from power. To remove a government from power. Prison or jail. Can you explain what a prison or jail is? A place where prisoners are kept. A place where prisoners are kept. Prostitute. Can you define prostitute? Someone who has sex for money. Someone who has sex for money. Misleading. Can you define misleading? Giving the wrong idea. Giving the wrong idea. Hereditary title. What is a hereditary title? A royal title like prince or princess. A royal title like prince or princess. Communist Party. What does Communist Party mean? Like China, North Korea. Like China, North Korea. Pay alimony. Can you define pay alimony? To pay money to an ex-spouse after divorce. To pay money to an ex-spouse after divorce. Deportation proceedings. What are deportation proceedings? Process of removing a person. Process of removing a person. Detained. Can you explain what detained means? Held in custody by police. Held in custody by police. Weapons training. Can you explain what weapons training means? To learn how to use a gun. To learn how to use a gun. Lie. What does lie mean? To say something that is not true. To say something that is not true. Non-combatant services. Can you explain what non-combatant services are? Services that do not involve combat. Services that do not involve combat. Charged. Can you explain what charged means? Police tell you that you did something illegal. Police tell you that you did something illegal. Totalitarian party. Can you explain what totalitarian party means? Government controls everything and people have no power. Government controls everything and people have no power. Controlled substances. Can you explain what controlled substances mean? You can buy it with a prescription, but with restrictions. You can buy it with a prescription, but with restrictions. National origin. What does national origin mean? Where a person is from. Where a person is from. False. Can you explain what false means? Not true. Not true. Insight. Can you define insight? To encourage. To encourage. Civilian direction. Can you explain what civilian direction means? A direction from a person who is not in the military. A direction from a person who is not in the military. Commit a crime. Can you define commit a crime? To do something that breaks the law. To do something that breaks the law. Order of nobility. Can you explain what the order of nobility is? Like king or queen. Like king or queen. Oath of allegiance. What is the oath of allegiance? A promise to be loyal to the United States. A promise to be loyal to the United States. Arrested. What does arrested mean? Handcuffed by the police. Handcuffed by the police. Procure. What does procure mean? To find someone for sex. To find someone for sex. Misrepresentation. Can you define misrepresentation? To lie or give wrong information. To lie or give wrong information. Detention facility. Can you explain what a detention facility is? A place where people are forced to stay. A place where people are forced to stay. Dependent. Can you explain what dependent means? Someone who relies on another person. Someone who relies on another person. Drafted. What does drafted mean? Being selected as a soldier. Being selected as a soldier. Work of national importance. Can you explain what work of national importance means? Tasks that are important to a nation. Tasks that are important to a nation. Paramilitary unit. Can you explain what a paramilitary unit is? Like a military group, but is not official. Like a military group, but is not official. Deport. Can you explain what deport means? To force a person to leave a country. To force a person to leave a country. Military type training. What is military type training? Learning to fight in combat. Learning to fight in combat. Confined. What does confined mean? To be kept in a place. To be kept in a place. Fraudulent. What does fraudulent mean? To claim something that is not true. To claim something that is not true. Drug paraphernalia. Can you define drug paraphernalia? Equipment to make illegal drugs. Equipment to make illegal drugs. Constitution. Can you explain what constitution means? It is the supreme law of the land. It is the supreme law of the land.